Welcome back to the Middle Severn coverage of Round 1 at the 2022 Indiana State Championships. I'm Chris Baker. Joining me again is Steve Andrews. Welcome back. And we're back here for 7 more holes at Brown County Country Club. We'll be starting with the foursome Connor McKanna, Kevin Fodrey, Elijah Bickel, and Trevon Crowe. Connor and Kevin off to a 2-down start. Our leaderboard here, local Lucas Rooney is 4 down through the front 7. And you can see Kevin and Connor there tied for 3rd.
We're at now the course starts to change.
Yep, we're going to hole 11 here. This is a signature hole on the course. A shorter hole, 231 feet, but you got to throw across water and throw through this little keyhole at the end. Basket's in the straight position. What kind of shot do you like here, Steve?
I think I tend to go over the top to the right-hand side with the hyzer. Just You can throw the keyhole, but I think that's the line.
Yeah.
Just over the top. There's all the room you want. Oh, no.
Okay. Stayed dry.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Good. There's all the room you want past it. So, the real danger is all short.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, great shot.
I threw a tilt if that helps.
Connor looking high. Really high.
Yeah, see, BC3, it's many courses in one, right? So it's been really wooded for the first, set of holes, first 6 or 7. And now it really opens up for a while, and you can really stretch your arm out.
The whistle.
Elijah thrown through the middle.
Yep, nice shot.
There's that one guardian tree right before the basket there with the hill.
This is a great stop because that hillside can be pretty slick. That stepper still looks good, though.
Yep.
Going whoa. Making minis? I don't know.
It looked like me when we were down there.
Nice, too.
This hole played as one of the easier holes in the MPO field and also had an ace on this hole. Zach Kemmer with the ace
Kemmer.
in
Nice
round
shot.
1.
There's always this feeling when you play BC3 and you come out of all those trees and you can finally have a kind of open ceiling to kind of open up and feels very, suddenly you feel a little more liberated. Then you got a couple of big holes coming down where you can really play some of those, for a right-handed player, some of those sky hyzers, high shots.
So actually that is a spit out for Kevin, unfortunately.
Oh, that's brutal.
So he will take a 4 here.
And these baskets, I don't tend to think of them as spitting all that often.
No, I really like these
do
individual
too.
catchers. They catch really well normally.
Oh, that's rough.
Hole 12 is also a little shorter hole at 292, fairly open. There's 2 basket positions, but for this tournament we are perched up here on the top of the hill. I think that's kind of the more challenging position because you got to get it to stop before it slides down left.
Yeah, so this is one of those places where if you want to play this hyzer, you really have to play it far out to the right because that ground is very skippy to the tree line.
Oh boy, good down.
There you go. So once it starts moving left, it really can be going.
That's the common miss, and then you're down in the tree line, down at the bottom of the hill.
Now on the other side, if you cheat too much to the right-hand side, then what you leave is a downhill putt that can be very fast. So, you kind of have to pick where you want that wrist to be.
Elijah gave it more width, but still slid down the hill.
But at least that's an uphill putt,
Yeah.
right? So if you miss a little bit to the left, you can at least be a little more aggressive. Some of the toughest lies are you're just above the hole putting down, and then you go all the way to the tree line.
Kevin's doing what I really like on this hole. With the slope of the green, if you can put a forehand down there, it makes a ton of sense. Needs a little more fade, though.
So that's great. That's a good shot. Yeah, nice aggressive. You can be aggressive with that putt straight uphill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh, that's a great
wind
run.
drop.
And a good settle. Huh. Elijah up and in. Nice
Candid.
putt.
Good putt.
Great putt. Yeah.
Really good putt from Connor. Connor comes from Terre Haute, Indiana. They have a big group of up-and-coming youth players out of that area, and there's a ton of them, and they're getting good really fast. And he's really holding his own. Connor is 17 or 18, I believe. He's a senior in high school.
That's great. They have such a great program for juniors at Terre Haute. Crossroads does a really good job with that.
All right, moving on to hole 13. We're going downhill, pretty significantly downhill. Basket is tucked behind this evergreen tree, and it slopes down past the basket. So this is kind of a distance control hole. You can go backhand or forehand, but you got to make sure you have the right disc that will spike down at the right distance.
The danger sometimes is hitting that guardian tree short if you don't throw far enough, and then if you go long, it can get a big skid. That's not bad. That's a great shot.
Good distance control from Elijah there.
Yeah. The forehand, though, because it really, everything slopes towards the center of the valley, the forehand is probably harder to control, I guess.
Yeah, you
That
can
look
pretty much just put a disc up there high and right and just let gravity drag
Right.
it down to the basket. You just got to pick your spot out there on the right on the horizon somewhere. A little bit short from Trevon.
Yeah, these are all okay, though.
This hole's over 300 feet, but it feels like it plays a lot shorter and probably plays like 250, 260. Good skip from
Yep.
Kevin there
When I throw that
in the circle.
About how do you expect the top card to play it?
Mm-hmm. Great putt from Trevon.
Mhm.
It's a touring pro putt right
That
there.
is and fighting back after a bad hole. Since then, kind of like really buckled in, played some good golf. Nice putt. Boy, he's putting well. How was this hole overall?
One of the easier holes. Averaged at 2.55, which makes sense.
Yeah. It's a fun shot, but it's basically getting you to the big par five.
Yeah. Star frame from our feature card. Here it is, the big par 5, hole 14, 956 feet. Got to stay left over here. There's a mando tree that forces you to the left, and then you get up here to the top of this little ridge, and then you throw back down into the woods. The basket is in a very scary position up on top of this stump with a huge downhill past the basket. So you got to land your second or third shot very softly coming into that basket.
I love this hole. I really do. I'm not a very long hitter, but I still really love this hole. I think it's a really well designed hole.
Elijah going with the roller.
A lot tougher with that Mando there because
Oh, he rolled pulled off the Mando tree.
We'll have to see what if they draw.
Because the usual play without that Mando there is to just throw it out into the field. But this obviously for the championships, you're going to play something that's pushing you to this fairway that you've really got to hit. You've got to commit to it and then get enough distance that you can try to make some up on your second shot. It's a really good tactical driving hole.
It's a good safe play from Connor, playing the forehand there. If you've got it, throw it past the Mando tree and move on.
The tough thing about playing, a little safer, which makes sense off of the tee, is that your second shot. Oh, did that?
Yep. So that's the risk. If you try to play that short hyzer to make the Mando, and it gets going left, that fairway is not very wide, and you can easily go left side OB. Good flick from Kevin.
Good flick. But, the challenge only begins here now, because once you're out here, you've got to place your next shot where you have a shot at the mouth. And everything in the valley for this second shot is still sloping to the right. And if you go too far right, you can't work it back into the woods. Mm-hmm. So you've got to be very careful about where you're going to put it. So this is not a missed Mando?
No, it looks like Elijah did not miss the Mando, but he's still got to play around it.
Okay.
So he's just flicking out into the open.
Yeah, that's a really good shot. You want it to.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's a good throw, but if you're on that right side, you're really gonna have to work like a forehand or something in to turn it back into the woods. That's a tough position over there on the right.
Elijah's throwing 3 now, and that down slope sucks discs down to the right every single time.
Every time. And so that's exactly that problem. You've got some distance, but now you're looking at basically the wall. The tree is going to have to try to make a button hook around it.
The nice thing for Connor is he got past the Mando. Now he can throw hyzer out over the tall grass, which is not out of bounds. Just presents challenging footing if you go over there. Kevin doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some good distance on that second shot, though.
So you want to get that further left, right? Because now he's going to have
down towards the next tee,
and he's going to have to thread through the trees,
he's gotta go backdoor now,
or play backdoor.
Yep.
Like the thing I like about this hole is it really puts a premium on not just distance, but
position.
Also position.
Yeah. Good flick from Connor. Gonna filter down there, and he'll try to figure out where he's at.
Yeah. See, that's. You never know what you might have a gap in the trees, but the line is left of that. Oh, he's
Elijah throwing 4 here. Looking high.
Get over it. You got to be kidding me.
He touches the top of the trees and falls down.
So this is that having to work that big forehand back to the right to try to get down into the tunnel.
Huh. Are you kidding me?
No.
Yep. You got to keep it low too, because there's a lot of low branches coming down into the basket.
But you're scared of the skip.
There's Kevin's backdoor route. He's going up high.
Nice.
Hard to say. Got a good roll.
Oh, that's a great
Fortunate.
shot.
Not sure where Elijah is there.
Yeah, he's over. I think he's over past 15's tee. I mean, this is that, BC3 put such a premium on scrambling that you wonder whether a few shots earlier, if you just made sure you put yourself back in position, could you have saved some strokes? You never know. I mean, because you're trying to push as far as you can to be able to get the number you need. It's just, BC3, once it starts going sideways, you really have to right the ship.
Yep.
Oh, that's a great run. Oh, no. Come on. Settle. Oh.
Yep. A lot of precarious baskets on this course.
Good putt.
Well played by Connor. That was a par. 5 for Connor. Elijah is putting for a triple bogey. That is an 8 for Elijah on that hole. That hole will sneak up on you pretty quick. Trevon, after going OB, scrambles for a 6. Bogey 6.
It was that, or it was like a.
Kevin took a birdie 4.
So good.
Well played by Kevin. Back out into the open, hole 15. Kind of a longer version of hole 12. Baskets perched up on this hill. Pretty common here for BC3. And you just have to get it to land soft. You can take it as wide as you want on the right, but if you get inside, you'll skip down to the woods line.
Yes, this is, again, that challenge, which is you have the opposite thing. You're not playing into the hill like you were on 12, unless you throw forehand, which is a great idea. The other question is you want to leave it up high enough so you don't get that big kick left, but then you're leaving yourself a really tough downhill, scary putt that goes right to the trees. So you've got to pick your line, hope you can get a soft landing, or else if you leave it up on that top side, being able to throw a putt that's downhill that's going to really look like a death putt.
Good looking forehand from Connor there.
That forehand's going to make up for a lot of problems, though. Yeah. It's going to solve a lot of
really nice. He should be in the circle there. Looks like they're following suit with the forehand here. You ever go forehand on this hole?
I don't think I have the forehand. I mean, I like it. I mean, the thing is, visually, it makes it look tough because of the trees on the left-hand side. He's going to have a really tough downhill putt. That same thing of if you get the extra security of not bouncing into the trees, you're going to have a tough putt for birdie.
Elijah's got a putter or a mid here, I think, which is good because it keeps it from fading too much down the hill and land softer. A little short, though.
And again, this basket, like so many of them, is on a slope. If you kick off towards that tree line, it's going to go all the way down there. Ooh. Oh, boy.
That's what happens
right
here.
There.
Yep. Risk reward on running these putts.
I mean, the thing about this is it happens so often you don't have to have seen the footage before. I haven't seen it, but I mean, it's just, and that's, yeah. I mean, it's happening.
It hurts to take your medicine there,
but it happens all the time.
Kevin is certainly running this with the way he's putting today. Oh, kind of a half bid.
Yeah, it's I just saw what happened to Elijah. Kind of bid.
Trevon needing some strokes.
That's a great putt.
That's so good.
Could you be able to hit the accelerator on that putt? Oh, that is such a good putt. I mean, even if you want to go for that, I'm surprised half the time your body doesn't say, we're going to the pole.
Mm-hmm.
Good putt. Gosh, he's a
great birdie from Connor. Ooh, another spit out for Kevin. Maybe a little bit left side. Oh, that's tough. Back into the woods, so these back holes on BC3 will kind of jump in and out of the woods. Hole 16 here is a shorter hole at 228, but pretty tight. You can take a righty backhand with a slow disc, or there is kind of a sneaky forehand line on the inside. Looks like that might be what Connor's doing here.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're just playing to make sure that if you miss, it's going up the slope, not down into the gorge.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a great shot. There's that little ditch in front of the basket. A lot of shots filter down into that. If you can get down there, you've got a putt. And that's kind of where you want to be. A little low. Not terrible.
No, I mean, the good thing is it was still, again, as a forehand, after it hit that, it's still working its way back up the face, away, not down into the gorge. Oh, that's a great
what
run.
a run. Kevin almost aces hole 16. Yeah, the backhand line looks more open, but it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
Elijah's kind of been in scramble mode for the last couple holes here. That's a good shot.
That's a good shot. It's a tough putt. At least you can throw full out. You don't have to worry about it. That's a good run.
Yep. Don't miss low.
Yep, that's the miss.
Just a little low. Kevin's been putting great. He probably wants that one back.
Yeah.
Good scramble from Elijah.
Great putt.
Par putt from Trevon. Connor with the birdie putt.
Yep, and that's the putt you get a lot on this hole.
Yep.
Down in that, right in that retention, that little ditch.
Yep.
There you go.
Like I said, if you're there, you're happy. Another birdie for Connor. Starting to pull away from these guys. Moving on to hole 17. Another really iconic hole out here at BC3. Throwing downhill into this tunnel. Got to throw your straightest disc. Whatever your straightest disc is, putter, mid, fairway. You got a bit of a backstop here behind the basket. Just throw it straight.
Or a flex forehand.
Yeah, or a flex forehand. I like the flex forehand sometimes as well here because it fights back up towards the basket.
Right.
Oh, I like that. Skip in.
That's looking great.
Yeah, it's a great shot. That's what you want to throw because you got the little extra safety, and it should be working its way again away from the worst result, which is way left.
Height. That's up there. It's gonna be way past it, but...
Oh, up and right. From time to time, you'll see people actually take the outside high right hyzer line too, especially when the basket's in the longer position, which this is the shorter position.
It's a smash, though. I mean, you really do have to get it high and very hyzer.
There's a little back door up there.
Right.
Good flick from Kevin there. Elijah getting razzed by the car horn. Going back in, needed a little bit more flip on that.
Yeah, that's once it starts working left, you can, it doesn't look like it went too far, but that's the best result.
60-foot uphill obstructed now.
Right, but it could have been 160, right, with that.
Trevon with the downhill, maybe just outside the circle.
His forehand really released all the way up the walkway. just hard to make yourself come in, chain high.
Yep, because if you don't catch metal there, you're going 40 past.
Good putt.
Hole 17 tied for one of the easiest holes to par for the MPO field. Average 2.5 for round 1. Another great birdie from Connor. He's on a mission.
Yep, playing great. 7 down is a good score.
Yep, 7 down through 14. Kevin, a little struggle there on the middle 7. He's at -3, and Elijah had some troubles there, especially on the par 5. Trevon fighting back. Connor and Lucas up to 9 down through 14. That's a fantastic start. So
Joe Barley up there at the top. Yep. Peyton Stammen.
Yep.
Good players.
We've got 7 holes left. You're back 7 on round 1. We'll be back with you in just a bit.